It starts with the U.S. Treasury, an agency rarely in the headlines, making one of the most impactful changes to Social Security in over a decade. As of September 30, 2025, beneficiaries of SSI and SSDI will no longer receive paper checks. This isn't a proposal or pilot program. It's a nationwide mandatory shift to electronic payments, either via direct deposit or a government-issued debit card. The reason? Security, efficiency, and modernization. But behind the government's push for speed and cost savings lies a deeper story.
Backhand index pointing right. If this information helped you, don't stop here. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you're always one step ahead. We break down important updates like this clearly so you're never caught off guard. Join our community, stay informed, and take control of your financial future, starting today. Flexed Biceps Calendar.
Vulnerable Americans, particularly seniors and rural residents, now face a ticking clock to adapt. For some, it's a simple update. For others, it's an unsettling disruption to a routine they've trusted for years. The government insists that the change won't affect the amount of benefits, just how they're delivered. But with October 2025 bringing 2 SSI payments due to a quirk in the calendar, budgeting confusion is almost inevitable. Community outreach, bank partnerships, and official guidance are all being mobilized to smooth the transition. Yet the risk of scams, misinformation, and access challenges remains high. Still, officials are adamant. No one will lose benefits or face delays if they act in time. This move marks a defining step in the federal government's broader push to digitize its services, one that could reshape how millions receive and manage their lifeline income. The U.S. Treasury has just dropped the biggest change to Social Security, SSI, and SSDI payments in over a decade. And it's not just a minor tweak, it's a total overhaul. If you or someone you know relies on these benefits, listen up, because starting September 30, 2025, there will be no more paper checks. That's right. Every single federal benefit recipient will be moved over to electronic payments only. This is now official policy. If you're currently getting your check in the mail, that ends next year. From that point forward, all payments will go through either direct deposit to a bank account or the Direct Express debit card. The Treasury says this move is about improving security, speed, and efficiency, and honestly, it's hard to argue with that logic. Mail theft, delivery delays, and the ballooning cost of paper processing have plagued the system for years. This transition is all about modernization. According to officials, the government is pushing to digitize all federal payments, not just Social Security. That includes everything from veteran benefits to tax refunds. This new system aims to stop paper check fraud, eliminate snail mail delays, and reduce wasteful spending. Every year, the government loses millions processing paper checks, money that could be better spent elsewhere. Now here's where it gets interesting and maybe a little complicated. Because of the 2025 calendar layout, there's a rare payment schedule twist coming. In October 2025, SSI recipients will get 2 payments. The first is your regular October benefit. The second, an early payment for November, triggered by the way weekends and holidays line up on the federal payment calendar. This is not a bonus. This is not extra money. It's your November benefit, just arriving early. So if you're not paying close attention, it could throw off your budgeting. Spend it like it's a windfall, and come November, you're looking at a long, lean stretch with no deposit. Beneficiaries need to be sharp, stay informed, and plan ahead. Let's be clear. Nothing about the amount you receive is changing. This is strictly about how you receive it. Whether you're on SSI, SSDI, or standard Social Security retirement, your monthly benefit stays the same. But how it gets to you, that's being transformed completely. This affects millions of Americans, seniors, disabled workers, low-income families, who depend on this money to survive. For many, this change is welcome. Electronic payments are faster, safer, and more reliable. No more waiting on the mail. No more stolen checks. No more lost payments. Just a direct transfer on time every time. But not everyone's celebrating. Especially in rural areas or among those who aren't comfortable with digital banking, the news is causing serious anxiety. Many of these folks don't use online banking, don't have smartphones, and don't trust digital systems. That's where the government is stepping in, with outreach, education, and support services aimed at helping people make the switch without losing access to their money. If you're one of the millions still receiving paper checks, you need to take action before September 30th, 2025. Set up a bank account if you don't already have one. Sign up for Direct Express if that works better for you. Reach out to Social Security offices, community centers, or your local bank. The support is there, but you've got to use it. This isn't optional. If you don't update your payment method, your benefits could be delayed, even if only temporarily. Government officials have emphasized this point repeatedly. No one will lose benefits as a result of the transition. If your payment is late or you hit a technical snag, you'll still receive your money. But the smoother the transition, the less disruption you'll face. Preparation is everything. And while we're talking about disruptions, here's another warning. Scams. Big changes like this attract scammers like vultures. Officials are already seeing a rise in fraudulent texts, calls, and emails targeting seniors and disabled Americans. These messages often claim to be from Social Security or the Treasury, asking for personal details, your bank info, Social Security number, or login credentials. Let's be very clear. The government will never ask for that kind of information through a call, text, or email. If someone does, it's a scam. Don't engage. Don't click. Don't call back. Instead, report it. And when in doubt, contact your local SSA office directly through the official website or phone number. This shift to digital payments isn't just about convenience. It's part of a broader move toward digital transformation across all levels of government. For years, there's been talk of making federal benefit systems more streamlined and less vulnerable to fraud and delay. Now, with this official move, it's happening. And fast. There's also a longer-term benefit for everyone involved. Faster policy changes. When the government implements cost of living adjustments, COLA, like they do each year, delays often come from paper-based systems. By going digital, the system can push out updates quicker and more accurately. That means when your benefit increases, you get it sooner. The government is also promising improved communication during this transition. Expect to see official letters, notices, and public service announcements over the coming months. If you're unsure about something, don't guess. Use the contact resources listed in those official messages. Again, never share personal or financial details with anyone who contacts you out of the blue. What matters most right now is preparation. If you or a loved one still receives a paper check, don't wait. Update your direct deposit information. Sign up for Direct Express. Ask for help if you need it. Social Security offices, community banks, senior centers, they're all being briefed and equipped to assist. And don't forget about the double payment in October 2025. If you're on SSI, you'll receive your regular October payment, and then an early November payment before the end of the month. Budget accordingly. That early payment doesn't mean you're getting extra cash. It just means you'll have to stretch it through November without another deposit. Millions of Americans depend on these monthly benefits. They're not a luxury. They're a lifeline. And any disruption, whether from fraud, confusion, or delay, can hit hard. That's why this transition matters. It's about more than just policy. It's about people. It's about protecting their security, their dignity, and their access to the income they rely on every single month. If you've already gone digital, great, you're ahead of the curve. But check in on your neighbors, your parents, your grandparents. Make sure they know what's coming. Make sure they're not left behind in this change. The bottom line: the paper era is ending. The future is digital. The Treasury has made it official. And September 30th, 2025 is the deadline. So take action. Talk to someone. Call your local Social Security office. Visit your bank. Go to a community center. The support is there, but you have to take the first step. Stay informed. Stay alert. And most importantly, stay protected. If this update helped you out, like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more important updates on Social Security and federal benefits. We'll keep you in the loop with every major change, because staying informed means staying empowered. Let's not sugarcoat it. This is a massive change. For some people, it's going to feel like the ground is shifting under their feet. Because for decades, getting that Social Security SSI, or SSDI check in the mail was more than just a transaction. It was a ritual. It meant stability. It meant food in the fridge. Medication paid for. Rent covered. That paper check wasn't just paper, it was peace of mind. Now it's being phased out permanently. Some will say, it's about time. Others are saying, what happens to those of us who don't use banks? Who don't trust debit cards? Who don't even have a smartphone? And that's fair. The government has made it clear they're not abandoning anyone. They're rolling out nationwide support, working through local banks, community organizations, and senior advocacy groups to walk people through the transition. There's assistance available. But no matter how much support is offered, this is still a seismic shift, especially for vulnerable populations who are already dealing with economic uncertainty, disability, or isolation. That's why early preparation is absolutely critical. If you're watching this and thinking, well, I still get paper checks, but I've got time, you don't. September 30th, 2025 might feel far away now, but if you're not ready by then, you could face payment delays. The system is going all digital. Period. And while your benefits are protected, access to those funds depends entirely on whether you've made the switch. And let's talk about that Direct Express debit card, because that's going to be the lifeline for a lot of people who either don't have a bank account or don't want one. It's a government-backed prepaid card where your monthly benefits are loaded automatically. You can use it to shop, withdraw cash, pay bills. No checking account required. No credit check. No overdraft fees. For many, it's going to be the simplest and safest way to receive benefits moving forward. But again, you need to sign up. You need to take action. This isn't going to be a one-size-fits-all solution. Some people will want direct deposit to their bank. Others will prefer the Direct Express card. The key is choice, but choice only works if you actually make it. Otherwise, you risk disruptions. And when you're living on a fixed income, even a short disruption can have serious consequences. And let's not forget the very real fear people have about digital security. The government's push to eliminate paper checks is rooted in a desire to reduce theft, but that doesn't mean scammers are going away. In fact, transitions like this are a goldmine for fraudsters. Already, we're seeing fake emails that look like they're from the Social Security Administration. Robocalls demanding people confirm their bank account or risk losing their benefits. Text messages with links pretending to be payment portals. Let's repeat it loud and clear. The government will never contact you asking for your personal banking info over the phone, email, or text. Ever. If you get one of these messages, do not respond. Do not click. Do not engage. Report it immediately. And when in doubt, call your local Social Security office directly. Use their official website or contact number. Don't take chances. This transition is also a stress test for digital literacy in America. A huge number of benefit recipients are seniors. Many aren't comfortable with online platforms. Some don't use email. Many don't even have Wi-Fi access. So while this may seem like a modern, necessary change, it's not going to be seamless for everyone. That's why local organizations, community centers, libraries, senior centers, and disability advocates are going to play a crucial role. They're being mobilized across the country to help people get set up, step by step. These support systems are real, and they're being deployed specifically to prevent chaos come September 2025. But still, this change exposes a deeper truth. America's digital divide is real. And for too long, policies have assumed everyone has the same access to technology. They don't. That's why it's so important to spread the word now, so people who are at risk of falling through the cracks can get help before it's too late. There's also a hidden pressure point here, timing. Because remember that strange calendar twist in October 2025? That's not just a footnote. It's a real issue. 2 SSI payments in 1 month might sound like a win at first glance. But let's break it down. The second payment in October isn't extra money. It's your November benefit arriving early because the 1st of November falls on a Saturday. Federal payment rules say they can't issue payments on weekends or federal holidays, so they bump it up to the last business day of the previous month. What does that mean for you? It means there will be no payment at all in November. So if you don't plan ahead, if you treat both October deposits like monthly payments, you could be left scrambling just a few weeks later. This isn't a system error. It's how the payment calendar works. And it's happened before. But now, combined with a switch to digital payments, the potential for confusion is much higher. People who aren't paying attention may assume they're getting more money. They're not. That's why financial planning, budgeting carefully, is more important now than ever before. This is also a warning for people who are caregivers. If you manage someone else's benefits, maybe a parent or disabled family member, you need to be their first line of defense. Make sure their payment info is up to date. Make sure they understand the October payment schedule. Make sure they're not vulnerable to scammers pretending to be federal officials. And if you're thinking, well, I'll just wait for the Treasury to reach out to me, don't. Yes, there will be official communications. Yes, they'll send letters. Yes, there will be public service announcements. But at the end of the day, this is your responsibility. And if you delay, if you ignore it, or if you assume someone else will take care of it, you're putting yourself or your loved one at risk of a delay in accessing those vital benefits. Let's be clear again. Your benefits won't be taken away. The amount doesn't change. But you can't receive what you don't set up. This is about access. And you control whether or not that access is uninterrupted. We also can't ignore what this signals for the future of government programs. This shift is part of a broader strategy. Federal agencies are looking to streamline every financial process, from Medicare reimbursements to housing vouchers. This transition to electronic payments isn't a one-off. It's a pilot for a digital future. That's why this transition matters, even beyond SSI and SSDI. Because it sets a precedent. A fully digital federal payment system means faster updates, quicker adjustments, less fraud, and reduced costs. It also means we all need to be prepared for more of these changes down the line. So let's recap. White heavy checkmark paper checks are ending for SSI, SSDI, and Social Security on September 30th, 2025. White heavy checkmark, you must choose direct deposit or direct express to receive your payments moving forward. White heavy checkmark, there will be 2 SSI payments in October 2025, but none in November. Budget accordingly. White heavy checkmark, scammers are targeting beneficiaries. Stay vigilant, and never give out personal info via call, text, or email. White heavy checkmark, the government is offering support services through local agencies, but you must take the first step to prepare. White heavy checkmark, this change does not affect the amount of your benefits, only how you receive them. White heavy checkmark, act now to avoid delays. Don't wait until the last minute. Talk to your local SSA office. Call your bank. Visit your community center. Ask for help if you need it. Help someone else if they're struggling. Because when we look out for each other, we all move forward together. There's another layer to all of this that deserves serious attention. Trust. Because let's be honest, trust in institutions isn't exactly at an all-time high right now. Many Americans, especially those who've been on the receiving end of bureaucratic nightmares, are rightfully skeptical when the government rolls out a massive change and says, "Don't worry, it'll be fine." People remember the system failures, the delayed checks, the hours on hold, the letters that never came. So when the Treasury says, no one will lose their benefits, it's understandable if people raise an eyebrow. That's why we keep repeating this. You have to be proactive. Don't wait for a flawless rollout. Prepare for hiccups, prepare for miscommunication, and make sure you've done your part to avoid getting caught in the chaos. This isn't about paranoia. It's about self-protection. If you've already switched to direct deposit, you're ahead of the curve. That's great. But you still need to stay alert, because scammers are counting on people like you being too comfortable. They'll send fake, update-required emails. They'll spoof SSA phone numbers. They'll make their messages look official and urgent. And if you click that link or give out your info, they'll drain your benefits before you ever see a dime. Again, the government will never ask for your banking details by phone, email, or text. That's the line in the sand. If you're not sure whether a message is real, don't respond. Contact your local Social Security office directly using the info from the official website. No shortcuts, no exceptions. Let's also talk about something else people often underestimate during transitions like this: mental bandwidth. If you're a caregiver or someone with multiple chronic conditions, or a senior managing 10 things at once, this kind of change can feel overwhelming. That's totally valid. It's not just about typing in a few numbers. It's about navigating a system that hasn't always worked for you, figuring out new tools, new dates, new rules, and doing it all while trying to survive on a fixed income. That's a lot. That's real stress. So to anyone feeling overwhelmed, you are not alone. The system should be easier, yes. But for now, take it one step at a time. Reach out for help. Don't be afraid to walk into a local SSA office or call a benefits counselor. Even your local library may have someone trained to assist with setting up direct deposit or navigating the government websites. Don't let pride or fear stop you from protecting your income. And remember, the early payment in October 2025, that's going to confuse people. You might even hear some wild conspiracy theories floating around. Ignore the noise. The reason for the double payment is simple math and policy. Payments can't be made on weekends or federal holidays. The 1st of November 2025 falls on a Saturday. So your November check comes early, at the end of October. But that does not mean you're getting paid extra. It just means you'll need to stretch that deposit across 2 months instead of one. For many living paycheck to paycheck, that's a brutal challenge. Plan now. Set that second deposit aside if you can. Treat it like it has to last. Because come November there's no money coming in. You'll be surprised how many people get tripped up by this. The Treasury's own data shows that these payment shifts catch people off guard every single time they happen. And this time, it's happening during a complete digital overhaul of the benefit system. That's a recipe for confusion if people aren't paying attention. The government says they'll be launching a nationwide information campaign. And they should. But let's be real. Word of mouth is going to matter more than any brochure or radio ad. That means you. Voice. Your community. Talk to your neighbor. Ask your grandma if she's heard about the change. Bring it up at church, in the barber shop, at the senior center. These are the places where information spreads in a way that matters. We can't count on official channels to reach every vulnerable person in time. But we can count on each other. This transition is happening whether we like it or not. The only question now is, are you ready? Because on September 30th, 2025, paper checks for SSI, SSDI, and Social Security are gone. And if you haven't made the switch to electronic payments, you're going to be left behind. At least temporarily. That's not fear-mongering. That's the plain truth. This is not about whether you agree with the policy. It's not about politics. It's about protecting your income, your independence, and your future. So if you've been putting it off, today is the day to act. Set up your direct deposit. Get your Direct Express card. Call your local SSA office and confirm your payment method is up to date. Don't wait for the chaos to begin. Beat the deadline. And if you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this today, and subscribe so you never miss another update that could impact your livelihood. We're not here to sugarcoat it. We're here to make sure you stay one step ahead. Thanks for watching and take care of yourself and each other.